Get your coffee and sit back because this is my everyday makeup routine as someone very acne prone, broken out, sensitive skin. This is what my real skin looks like. No retouch, no filters, no nothing. Let's get into it. And for reference, here is what the final result looks like. My first skin prep step always is hypochlorous acid. This is amazing, especially if you have acne prone skin. For using my everyday travel makeup bag, this is what I keep every single product I use every single day in. Probably one of my number one makeup recommendations that I recommend to anyone and everyone, no matter your skin type, no matter what you're looking for, because this will give you glowy, dewy makeup like no other. My all-time favorite skin prep product because it leaves you with this bronzed glow that truly looks so beautiful, but it almost dries down to be a grippy matte texture. It is all things like highlight without being shimmery. It is beautiful on the skin. Look at that glow. It's insane. It evens out the skin tone, gives you a glow, gives you a grip. Everything about this is perfection. My foundation favorite right now, my OG foundation favorite. This is a completely acne safe foundation. Yeah, you heard that right. And for foundation, we're always blending that in with our fingers. This will look crazy at first, but I promise you this matches the skin once we blend it all out. Especially if you have acne prone skin, please try using your fingers. This will give you the most amazing seamless coverage that also gives you a skin-like finish, and it really helps to press the product into the skin so you're getting the most longevity out of your makeup. Fingers first and then the brush, and you literally take this and you're just going to bounce it into the skin. Seems excessive, but spend extra time on your base because if your base is perfect, the rest of your makeup is perfect. Fingers, brush, and then we use a sponge in between steps. So before I go in with any type of cream products, I'm going to go over top of that foundation one more time. You can see how perfect the skin looks. Everything's covered up. You don't have any of that acne peeking through, and it truly gives you the most skin-like finish. If you need a little bit of extra coverage, go in with the sponge just on the spots that need a little bit extra. So for me, that's right here on my blemish. Always wiping off the brows after we work with foundation. Dibs Glow Tour Contour. This is Pink Cosmos, and we're just going to kind of give the skin a little bit of color. Working this through the perimeter and down the nose, and this will just melt right into the skin using the Dibs brush. I am a makeup brush over sponge girl all day long. Have a little bit of bronze. I'm going to add a tiny bit of this shade right here, also from Dibs. Glow Tour has a little bit more cool tone, while the Dibs Desert Island Duo Sticks have a little bit more of a warm bronzy tone. She's all bronze. All products and shades are in my LTK, and this is going to be that same Dibs Little Duo Stick with the red shade. Same brush, and this also just melts right into the skin. I've been finding that red's really complementing my green blue eyes recently. Same product but a different brush just to really build that up right here on the cheekbone. We're going to go in with concealer to clean it up, so don't be afraid to go heavy. Now to clean up the under eyes, this is my favorite acne safe under eye concealer because it has a serum like texture so it blends in super easy. It's also very brightening. It's my routine and I do make up the rules, so we must blend this out with the BK Beauty brush. This will give you the most airbrush finish while still retaining all that coverage. Once again, a sponge picks up way more coverage than a brush does, and we go over the top of the eyelid for a little bit of coverage as well. See how I brought that all the way out? This is going to help to lift the eye and sponge in between steps. Once again, the skin is looking next level perfect. As someone with dry skin, I was always afraid of powders until I found a two-step powder process that truly does the most amazing job at the longevity, but also preventing any type of cracking or creasing underneath the eyes, starting with the pressed powder, taking a powder puff, tapping off all the excess. You don't want a ton of powder. You want very, very light, thin layers going right underneath the eye, and this is just going to lay the most beautiful base. That way it's not going to crack when you put a loose on. You already see how brightening that is. Next, taking the loose powder. These are both talc free as well. Taking a powder puff, tapping off all of the excess. We're going right underneath the eye, but this one we're going to bring all the way out. You see how smooth that makes the under eyes? Whatever's left over, we're going in the T-zone and wherever we put concealer. It's not clinging to the dry patches, and we have a poreless under eye. Bronzer that will truly change your life. It has the most amazing finish that almost gives you a blurred, filtered finish. Taking the other side of that Dibs brush, tapping that all over. And look at the way that this just gives us this glowy blur to the skin. It truly is next level. And I'm taking this all around the perimeter and kind of down the cheekbones here, leftovers on the nose and chin. Now look at that blur that the skin has. It's insane. For the blush, I'm taking this House Labs one. I love the Dibs, House Labs, and Kosas ones, and I'm bringing that really high up here on the cheekbone. And this is something that really layers extremely well. Leftovers on the nose, forehead, and chin. Eyeshadow is the same thing every single day, taking the same bronzer that we just used and going all over the eyelid. Looks a little bit something like this. You could totally stop here. I'm going to take the leftovers and go down the sides of the nose as a powder nose contour. And I'm going to take the blush I just used with that same brush, tapping off the excess and going right over top of that. And this is just going to give us a layer of dimension, but also make it a little bit more warm toned versus this. You can see this has a little bit of that red look to it. So the eyes are looking a little bit something like this. You can see how it draws in both the bronzer and blush already in my routine, so it looks seamless. Nose highlight using my favorite little highlighter stick from L'Oreal. See how it just gives us the tiniest looking nose. Clear eyebrow gel. This versus this, it just gives us a little bit of shape. This is my favorite one from Benefit. My favorite settings. We need a layer of this before we do the eyes and the lips. Curling the lashes. this versus my new favorite drugstore mascara. I've been loving Sky High for as long as I can remember, but this is the burgundy one. It's a newer find for me, and if you have green or blue eyes, I want you to switch over to a plum burgundy or a brown mascara. It's really gonna make your eyes pop, and what it does is it draws attention to actually your eye color versus just your lashes alone. Here's what the lashes look like. Just add a little lip combo and then another layer of setting spray to finish everything off. So here is what the final looks like. I'll have everything linked with the shades in my LTK. Love y'all.